you guys back here with another 15-minute interview. I might have just like waited a second because I wasn't sure if we were recording or not. And we are recording, so that's a good thing. So 15-minute interviews, you guys, what it is I guess it's a couple things. I'm learning a lot. So I guess selfishly it's, I'm getting too much out of it, more than I expected, which is a good thing. But also I want everybody else to be getting something out of 15-minute interviews. One of the main things that Brooke and I were just talking about before we started recording is that we want people to be able to see like what it's like to have online therapy. We want them to know that exists as an option to be able to get help and reach out. I like the convenience of online therapy for people. I like my flexibility that it gives me to be anywhere and still be able to help my clients. And this is one of the mediums that we use. So this actually is exactly what it would look like, or for most situations, what it would look like to be in an online therapy session. Like you would be where Brooke is at, and me as a therapist would be here, or vice versa. So this is what it looks like, and the feel is real. There's different things that we do to connect, and I think you can see the real in this interaction. So 15-minute interviews is all about that, is bringing it to you and trying to help you to be able to understand that, man, this is an option. Okay. And so that's one reason that we definitely do it. So we have Brooke here today, and I'll let her introduce herself in a second. But first, Brooke, I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to be able to help us and to be able to serve, man, even more than our nation, because we have people from all over the world actually who will be interviewing eventually, and I'm excited about that. But thank you for taking your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm so excited about this project and just kind of getting the word out. And online therapy is so close to my heart. So I'm excited to talk about it. I am over in Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm licensed in South Carolina. So I serve the entire state. I don't know what else you want to know. I specialize in serving. I serve moms and professionals. So what you were just saying about, the convenience of it, I serve a lot of moms and really busy professionals that it's really hard for them to find time within their day, amongst their kids, amongst their business meetings or whatever, to really take care and prioritize themselves. So for my population, it's really great to just be able to fit it in where you can get it, because I feel like this population is really underserved when it comes to prioritizing their own mental well-being.
All right. I saw a sign the other day that said that you can't fill up anybody else's cup if yours is empty.
Absolutely.
That's a cute little thing. And so, yeah, you're right on. It's important that women get that support, and especially with busy lives. So momming duties, and on top of that, taking care of the house.
Yep.
So, okay. What is your classification, Brooke?
My license?
Yes.
I'm a licensed professional counselor in LPC.
LPC. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's different all throughout the United States. They mean different things. So
for sure.
So what's an impactful point? I know you started touching on a little bit of things a second ago. What's an impactful point that you feel like is a theme of your sessions, or that you see a lot in therapy? What's a point that you make constantly?
So a lot of what I do is identity work. And so I guess my two specialties are identity and relationships. So again, I work a lot with moms, and so moms are really good at kind of losing who they are to their families, their spouses, the busyness that comes with being mom. So, it's really easy to say, I have to be here, 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 and here today, and that's it. Like, I'm taking care of all these people around me, and that's all I have time for. So then after doing that for so long, you can kind of forget what your goals are, or what you wanted to do or dream of, or things like that. The other piece that I see a lot of, and that I work a lot with, is relationships. So I see a lot of people that because they've either lost their identity, they're in their marriages and their kids, and whatever, their work, for the professionals that I see, they find that they just have kind of this intense loneliness. They have kind of superficial relationships, and they're not really sure how to go deeper within those relationships, because of lack of time, or just not knowing how to move to the next level within their relationship.
Okay. What's something that is helpful to those people when you see that? What's something that you try to undo? You might have touched on a little bit. What's something that you try to do to help that person in that scenario?
I think the biggest thing that I work on and probably repeat over and over, my clients probably roll their eyes every time I start talking about self-care. It's so huge, especially for moms. And you know, busy professionals that all they do is kind of work all day, and then they come home and just all their responsibilities. So really, a lot of what I see is people that they can't even tell me what self-care is. Like, what did you do for yourself today? I don't even know what that means. Like, what would I do? And a lot of times, one of my favorite things to tell people is that Netflix doesn't count as self-care.
Right.
It doesn't. Like,
accidentally pushing things away, right?
yeah, like that's avoidance. We don't want that. We want you to feel refreshed and re-engaged in your life after you do something that is for you.
Right.
So, and when you're watching TV for 8 hours, that's generally not how you feel. I don't care what show it is.
Right. Yeah, I was reading that binge watching TV is a way that we do push away our emotions by accident. And so we're able to get away from everything that is impacting us, but we haven't really dealt with it. It's still there, right?
Exactly. My friends say that I have like this thing against Netflix, but I don't want to be misheard, right? Like,
Right.
I watch Netflix too, and I don't think there's anything wrong with a little bit of TV, but it's all moderation, right?
Right. Or
and
be
not
intentional.
calling it self-care.
Right. Or be intentional. Like, at least I know, like, hey, that's what I'm making a decision to do.
Absolutely.
Cool deal. All right. So I know you learned from something, and we want to learn from the same somethings that you learned from. So what is a book or someone you follow or a podcast you listen to or a movie that you do watch that you think is helpful? What's something that you can tell us about that you found helpful that you've used?
I am all about Brene Brown. She's my like superhuman hero. I don't know. Because I talk about relationships and things like that so often, and vulnerability is such a big deal to my clients. And also it's been super helpful within my life to kind of learn how to go to the next level and be deeper with people. And I think she is super amazing.
Right. Yeah, no, I think she's amazing too. And you're not the first either. Like, there's a couple.
Probably not.
Yeah, there's a couple of therapists who, if we were checking out votes, she'd be leading in votes right now.
I'm completely unoriginal when it comes to that.
No, I'm the same way. I like Brene Brown too. She's very helpful. Okay. Can you either tell us a story or give us some kind of challenge or homework? You can either do one or the other, or you can do all of them.
Wow, a challenge. I would say, this is tough. Why are you putting me on the spot like this? I think probably if we're going to stay on the same self-care kind of level, right? I think if you can sit down and you can categorize the things that you do for yourself, and like if you were to sit down and say, like, here are the things that I do for yourself. If you do something for your mind, your body, your soul, your relationships, and like something responsible, like, I don't know, organizing something or budgeting something or whatever. Like, if you can within a week do like something in each of those different categories, then I think that you're on the right track. And if you can't do that and you don't even know where to start, I think that is a red flag. And I think that needs to be looked into a little bit more or brainstormed.
Okay.
Does that count? Is that good homework?
Yeah, that's good homework and good for somebody to take home with them. Hey, so we were talking a little bit back when this definitely is a curveball because it's not on our questions at all.
Man.
But you were mentioning about online therapy. Can you talk to me about some of the benefits that you think can come out of online therapy, and or maybe it's not that, but just maybe we could spend a second or two breaking down like stigma around it, and or just kind of throwing something out there about online therapy.
Yeah, I think so I think I've had 3 people now that have called me or sent me a message through my website or something that was like, are you even real? Like, are you a robot? Or like, what does this look like? And I think that that's a big stigma, right? I didn't even when I started doing online therapy, I didn't even think of that, like that people are worried about who they're even talking to. So I think understanding that when you are signing up for online therapy, these are actual therapists that you can look up on their board websites. Like they should be licensed or certified in some way to support you. And if they are, they should be able to provide you something from their state board to look up and say like, hey, I'm legit, like I'm a real person with a real education and credentials to back up that I can do this.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. Hey, that's a good point. And because a lot of times it's so foreign, it does seem like, hey, you know, are you real and can we connect almost? That's almost like the underlying question, right? Can I connect with you?
Yeah.
So, okay, very good point. So there is connection that happens in online therapy for sure.
For sure.
Brooke, we appreciate you spending time with us today and sharing with us your knowledge. And for everybody watching 15-minute interviews, we're back every Wednesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. And I haven't been saying it, but that's Pacific time, which means I like to start like California time. Yeah, exactly. And so you guys feel free to join us. But I think the more important thing is share it. Like, how much does it take for us to be able to just hit the share button? I keep saying this over and over again, but I want this to be heard. I think it's really important. There's somebody out there that needs somebody who's reaching out and willing to help. And the only difference between them getting that help and not is them being able to know that it exists. And so if we can put a share out there, if you put a share out there, then it helps that person to get what they need. Now, sometimes they haven't shared what's going on with them. And so if you would just be willing to say, hey, like, this is here, and let them do their own work to find who it is, I think that'd be so helpful. So imagine how much you can do by sharing.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to do that. All righty. Brooke, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right, no problem.